Y'all, it done got hot here. Oh, I'm just talking to our friends. Nathan's like, are you talking to me? Just talking to our friends on the YouTube. I have never, ever seen so much poop. Look, here's poop. It's like it's like the whole cycle. Do you see that?
We gotta get out here with the black light flashlight, babe.
So you guys know I've had the privilege of having my job be the farm for the last several years, which means I've been able to just spend all my time growing the best gardens. But I find people who have to balance work and gardening struggle more with pests, more with disease management. And why is that? And that's just because they don't have the time and attention to be able to give to their plants versus someone who does this all day, every day. As soon as I saw, poop, I might immediately find the hornworm and address the problem. As soon as I found a disease, I would treat it. Well, since we made our announcement this week that we are starting another business, we just, that's a big one.
Oh, you should have seen some of the other ones I pulled off.
Okay. No, thank you. Hornworms are not my jam. And he thinks it's so funny. Stop it.
I like how they just suck to you.
No, I don't like that at all. So,
well, there's one of them.
Since we announced our new business, the farm has had to, I don't want to say take a back seat. You are not funny. Stop doing that. But we have had to, I've not been able to spend as much time. I've been in product development. I've been in building a brand mode. And so first of all, before we start this vlog, gosh, thank you. Nathan and I sat in my office the other night and we were just blown away at how many of you guys emailed us and commented. Nathan handles all the comments and he was just like, babe, people were so kind to us.
Yeah.
And it's scary. One, starting something new, but it's scary taking that to the internet. I know you guys love and support us and we appreciate that, but not everyone is so nice and kind. Some people, to be frank, are just jerks and they just really love being mean to people. And I had a little bit of hesitancy releasing the vlog. If you missed it, our secret's out. I'll put it right up here. Because I was a little bit fearful of the criticism we might get, and Nathan said we didn't get any of that really. No. And if we did, he didn't tell me about it, which is great. So thank you guys so much. It really does mean the world to us. But we're gonna harvest some tomatoes.
I want to say thank you too, because there's a lot of people that emailed us contacts and all kinds of, hey, check out so-and-so because they're growing, things well and
look at that.
Lots of resources. And
so now we have a farm in Missouri we're going to go check out that grows herbs organically. We've got a farm in Arkansas we're going to go talk to. So yeah, thank you guys so much. But we're going to harvest some tomatoes. We're going to do some pruning. And unfortunately,
I'm about to go feed some chickens.
You're going to go feed this to the chickens? Okay. And unfortunately, aside from what you see here and a little bit of ginger, we are having to completely start over in the greenhouse. And I am devastated, I'll be honest. I am really devastated. But however, why we're having to start over is completely out of my control.
Hey, good living.
So when we first, look at that. That is so devastating. When we first bought our farm, I would say we probably didn't even take our own advice. So we tell people to start small. We also teach people to stay small. I wrote my entire book, you guys, on the principle that small scale farming rocks, right? And we should just really not feel the need to go all in. Well, at our old farm, we had chickens and we had rabbits, but Nathan specifically really wanted pigs, he wanted sheep, I wanted goats, and it's so easy to want to go all in. We had way more property now than we do there. So we had 1 acre at our last farm. We have 4.3 acres here. We had all the paddocks, we had all the infrastructure, we had everything ready to bring animals onto our farm. And so what we do? We go big or go home, what I say not to do. And so we got pigs, probably more than we should have. We got goats, I think the perfect amount.
Are you telling on me right now?
No, I'm not. I'm painting a picture. And so we got sheep. And what happened is we got all of these different animals that required something differently, and we didn't quite have all the things in place that we thought we did. And so we get on here and we talk about the sheep got out and ate my cottage garden, and the reason we're having to start completely over in the high tunnel is because our hot wire quit working. And we have how many pigs, Nathan?
8 currently.
We have 8 pigs. They went and busted through 2 paddocks to get in with our sheep. They took all the T-posts that our entire fence in our chicken house and sheep yard, and they took it like a toothpick and just pulled it out of the ground. So I woke up the other morning and we had pigs, sheep, and chickens all in this high tunnel. And you guys, I cried. They ate all my peppers, they ate all my lettuce, they ate so many of my tomatoes, all the bottom foliage of my plants. They did a lot of damage. They broke some. And I was so mad. I mean, I was pretty mad. But then, so I was so mad because I'd spent all this time and energy starting these seeds and transplanting. And even though I wasn't as super hands-on this year as I've been in the past, that's a lot of work. You don't want to do something in vain. But what I realized after I stopped being mad was that I didn't take my own advice. That I didn't start small. That we didn't have the systems in place that we needed to where our pigs wouldn't get out, right? Our hot wire quit working. We didn't prioritize fixing that. We thought, we'll get to it. It'll be okay. And I say all that to say, there really is value in starting small and staying small. You don't have to have 10 pigs to be able to raise pigs for your family. You don't have to have 1,000 chickens to be able to not have to buy eggs from the grocery store. And so I think that this was a really good lesson for us in the fact that, you know what, we're going to scale back. We're going to scale back and we're going to get our systems in place. We're going to scale back and we're going to figure out what we actually really need, because right now we have so much food that to process all of our animals, we'd have to buy more deep freezes. And we don't even have room for more deep freezes. I found another one.
Oh, let me get it. You hold the camera.
Yeah, I'm going to let you get it. See if you can spot it.
Oh, I spotted it.
Oh, you spotted it immediately. You know, if we were like Survivor people, we would probably eat it. I've been watching all those like survival shows.
This is a good example.
I see another one.
It's got poop coming from it. Look at that. Oh
my gosh, I see that. Look, there's one right there. This should have been a hornworm hunting video. You see it?
Yep.
And then you have to grab that one. No, that wasn't it. Look. Oh. See the big one?
No.
Right here.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Come here, big fella.
Ethan has other words he would like to call those hornworms, but he is refraining.
All right, well, let me go feed these chickens.
Yeah, you go feed those, and that's fine. So I really wanted to share this with you guys because although it might seem like a failure to some that we're having to start all over, it is July and there's still a lot of things that we can grow. I'm going to be doing a video next week all about what I'm starting right now and how I'm planning for a fall garden already. But I say all this to say, it is so easy, even with the best intentions. You know, I wrote a book, like I said, about small-scale farming, not feeling the need to go all in, knowing that you don't have to do what everyone's doing. And it wasn't even that was the motivating factor for us getting all the pigs and all the sheep and breeding all of our animals. It was because we were excited about the possibility of what this farm offered us. And I know that we're not the only ones that feel that way. So many of us are buying land, so many of us are having this spark of wanting to be sustainable and grow our own food, and that excites us, and we want to grow all the gardens, right? We want to have all the animals and do all the things, but there are some challenges that come with that. There are infrastructures you have to put in place. You have to have a plan when you get ready to harvest these animals. What does that look like for your family? And when Nathan and I started really evaluating, we don't even have the space. We bought 2 new deep freezes this year. And like we can't even add any more deep freezes on our farm. We realized that we really have to start scaling back. What's wrong? But it gave us such a renewed purpose, right? It allowed us to go back to the beginning and really ask ourselves, what is our family's goal? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? And can we still scale back and accomplish that goal? And at the end of this conversation, Nathan and I had the answer of yes. We can get rid of some pigs and still have enough pork in the freezer. We can sell half of the babies that our sheep had and still have plenty enough lamb for our own family. Hang on. Y'all, that is just some kind of nasty. Those of you who deal with hornworms and this is a regular thing, I'm praying for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. They are. Anywho's, while I'm out here harvesting what little we have, last year I was harvesting 100 pounds of tomatoes every single week out of this tunnel. So I know what the possibility is. I know what it's capable of. I know what I'm capable of, but I also know that I'm not gonna lose sight of what Nathan and I have agreed to. And it's a message I wanted to share with you guys today. Sometimes you might have to start all over. Sometimes you might have to go back to the drawing board. Sometimes you might have to get rid of animals and you might have to scale back gardens. But it doesn't mean we're bad gardeners. It doesn't mean we're bad farmers. It means we're smart. It means we're willing to pivot. It means at the end of the day, we are staying true to this idea that we really do not want to go big or go home. That we can have a small, efficient farm and it can impact our family. We can use it to teach you guys and show you guys what we can do and encourage you guys that if we can do it, you can do it. So, I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad that I'm having to start all over, but I know that the Lord gave us this lesson for a reason, and it really did cause us to just kind of pause and reevaluate, and I think those moments are always just so important. I am so looking forward to the shifts of the season. Even though I know what this greenhouse is capable of in the summertime, I know how magnificent and just breathtaking it can be. I also know what we're going to be able to do this fall and winter, and I know that it's going to meet so many needs for our family. It's going to bring so much fulfillment. And so although this summer wasn't as productive as we wanted it to be, I know that that's just going to guide and steer us into our fall and winter season. And I have no doubt that it's going to be so much better than I could even think or imagine. So I'm holding on to that hope and that promise. So if you guys had crummy summer gardens, don't let that define your entire year. You can fall garden, you can winter garden. There's so many different things you can do across so many different zones. And so just because you had a bad gardening year doesn't make you a bad gardener. I talked about this recently in a vlog. Rip out a crop, you know, like plants fail, plants die. That's okay. It doesn't define who we are. And the more we can just pivot and adapt, that's when we really become really good seasoned gardeners, because you're always going to have to adapt. There's always going to be something that happens that's unexpected. And when you can just bounce back from it and say, you know what, that's all right, I'm going to do better next time, that's when you're going to have a better mindset and really when you're going to produce more food. So I do think I have enough here to make, is that a bird in here? Oh, it's the bee, you see it? So I do think I have enough tomatoes here to make a round of diced tomatoes. We still have not went through everything that we canned up last year, which is why it's super important when you do have a really good harvest. Preserve, 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 because since we did so much preservation last year, the fact that we didn't produce as much this year, we're still not having to source out from any other farmers. We are still just going through our reserves from last year, which feels really good. Nathan and I were talking about that the other day, how, you know, it all kind of worked out great. But I definitely have enough to make at least a couple pints of some diced tomatoes. That's what we're really going through a lot. And so I'll take these, make some diced tomatoes. We'll definitely probably make up some salsa. But I feel pretty good about that. Whoa, what a romantic Friday morning sweat sesh.
Sweat sesh, yeah.
Look at that, you got tomato fingers. Those
Any of you living in the South, you know what this heat and humidity is like.
Next level.
Next level.
But Nathan got the rest of the kale ripped out, thrown to the pigs. I got all the tomatoes harvested, started pruning. He's gonna go back in for me today and clip them up. So I just did a hard prune, and might take them a minute to bounce back, but our tomatoes, since we're growing an indeterminate variety, they'll continue to grow until the frost. And so even though they look bad right now, if I do all this pruning and maintenance and we address the hornworm problems, they will bounce back and keep producing. I don't think I'm gonna do another round, although I probably could get in some determinate varieties. I might. You want me to?
Daddy wants some Romas or
Okay.
some sort of
Grand
canning.
Marshall. Like, it's kind of equivalent to like a paste. It's a real meaty one.
Okay, I want some paste tomatoes so we can make salsas and
Yeah.
spaghetti sauce and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, so that's probably something I'm going to start this week then, with all the other things that I'm starting this afternoon. But although we had to start over, it's pretty much a blank canvas in the tunnel. This is part of it, right? This is part of farming. This is part of gardening. I hope that by me sharing our story with you guys and how we've had to pivot and how we're having to downsize and readjust encourages you guys that you don't have to have it all figured out on your farm, right? We talk about this often, as you can fail at one thing and not be a failure. And so I hope that by us just kind of sharing our story with you guys and how we are still learning when it comes to raising animals, we're willing to pivot and do what we have to each season.
And the best part is we're about to plant our fall garden. We love gardening in the fall. It's our favorite. Did you already say that?
I did, but just to reiterate it, it is our favorite time. But happy weekend. I hope you guys have a beautiful time with your friends and family this weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning as we sweated our little heinies off in the high tunnel. But thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, guys.